The final game of the round number 7 has just finished, and we had a crazy encounter with white pieces. It was Olga Badelka against Mariya Muzychuk, and Mariya managed to win. Congratulations, Mariya.
Thank you.
It was an insane game. At some moment, I was not sure who was better, who was worse. But maybe let's start from the opening, maybe. Did Olga surprise you with this e4 new idea?
I think I wasn't sure either, because like in the opening she played very fast, so she was definitely prepared, and I think that here it was necessary to take on b3, because after I played queen c7, e4, and I immediately recalled that most probably it's not good for black. But it was too late already, so I had to continue. And
have you considered other recaptures or how it would continue?
Yeah, I considered, but I remember that if I take d, then like bishop f4, knight c4, knight d6, I think it's unpleasant position for black, but I just forgot it during the game. And here I'm not sure what she had to play, but it's not good. Like, you know, queen c8, I think this line existed, you know, so I mean, but it was not good for black.
Yeah.
And h4, you know, like I just had to find the only moves, because like, you know, also like I wasn't sure about knight b5, you know. Still, it looks like I hold like cb, bishop b5, knight c6, yeah. Well, so what I mean, you know, therefore actually I took with my bishop in order to keep this knight like protected, like d7 square.
Yeah, it was unclear.
Yes, but okay, like g4, I also considered this, and she played queen c2 also, like bishop d3, it's necessary to calculate this. g5 might be unpleasant. I'm not sure what is like the best for white, but this position I do not like to play with black.
Yeah, so some weaknesses for you on the king side.
Yeah, and of course no bishop pair, so like white has a bishop pair, and my development suffers. Okay, like here I considered that like if take then queen e8, so actually it was my main idea. Like
then you managed to trade the queens.
Yes, okay, like if she goes back, at least I win some tempos, and
yeah,
it has to be good for me. So she played bishop g5, I took. And here many moves has to be considered. Okay, she castle, like very risky and brave, but
yeah, maybe she was too confident this moment.
yeah, looks like, because I think that she knew that she had a better position, and like therefore she played very bravely, let's say. Yeah, okay, like taking on f3, it would be too much with such a development. Okay, I considered this, but but I didn't like it at all. So I decided to play knight a6, so at least on bishop d3 I have knight b4 and just some more trades. And here, okay, like queen e8 looks like I have to play. And I'm not sure, maybe like, you know, it's more or less
you're
okay
up a
for
pawn,
black,
but you're
let's
suffering.
Say. Yes, but at least like, you know, I managed to develop my knight, so at least some life here.
Continue.
Taking queen e2 and bishop d8. I thought it was not good to protect my e6 pawn with queen d7 or queen f7. So like I decided like to have an idea if rook de1, then I have bishop a5, and in case I take bishop c3, then I have this important square on e4.
Yeah, and then she has dark squared bishop, and she cannot challenge your knight there.
Yeah, but she like continued to play like all in.
Yes.
Actually, I expected this from her, and you know, sometimes she's very good at it.
Just a short question: have you considered knight takes h5?
Yes, I considered knight takes h5, but it was not good. Like
it was here. After h5.
Okay, there. Here I saw many options for white. Okay, like of course, let's say take on d8. Yeah, so I have two options: knight d3 or knight f4, but it didn't work. So let's say if knight could wear
Let's say
knight
g3.
d3, then let me think. I think queen h2. Queen h2, take rook h2, and queen h a8. Very important. Yeah, like I think.
Rook d8. Sorry.
Okay, but now I'm not sure. No, now I'm not sure because like now I have queen f8 and there maybe back, maybe something else.
So that's actually the first computer line, knight h5.
Not it. Oh, okay. Like,
I'm not
very
sure how it
surprised,
was
but-
working out, but
Okay, but what is the estimation? I think.
you can check here.
Okay, like I'm very surprised because now like it didn't work in my calculations.
We can briefly check, yeah.
No, if I have to take g8, then of course it's very good. But
So the
I didn't
question bishop d8.
uh-huh. Okay, even knight f4. No, but I thought like that I opened the H file and it's always good for white. Let's say all these checks and so on. So actually, instead of knight g3, I calculated knight a f4.
Yeah, but it looked too messy and like you're opening out too much.
Here I didn't like the idea, that I take it with the rook, and let me think, maybe like rook f1, g5, check and check on h5. So let's say queen. It says king f6.
Oh my god.
Okay.
King is coming forward.
Well, like
Crazy.
I said, I'm very surprised, but with these engines,
Yeah, they know better, but
yeah, I'm surprised that it worked.
yeah, but it looked very inhuman to go for this messy variation, especially
Yeah, but I was
opening.
calculated this all in human lines, just imprecisely. So okay, like I take, and here I think maybe white is a bit better because like this pawn on h5 and also like a pawn on c5, and let's say even if you just take queen a6, should be maybe a bit better for white, but most probably I can hold.
But she took too much time to take on a6, yeah?
Yeah, like here she played h6, and I was surprised because this move is like not risky, but it's just
It's really
it's either you win or you lose. Like, I mean, you can. It's this pawn on h6. It can be both a strength and a weakness. So like after g5, I mean,
like
white has to be very careful in order not to change queens.
It felt like she released the pressure on the g7 square when she put this h6.
Yeah, but after g5, I was happy.
Yes.
So then maybe it was the first moment,
like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, true. And here, I think I prefer black. Okay, I had little time because I spent too much time in the opening and also like middle game. But so I also considered like knight d1, knight e3. But anyway, I think black is better here. And like g7, I was sure like something has to be winning, but unfortunately queen b4 didn't work in my calculation. Okay, now I'm not sure about anything after this knight h5, but it didn't work because like take, I have to take, and I think like the only move is this one, because let's say if knight e7, then king f8 and check king e8, so I mean I'm doing fine. But king e1, and I had no idea because it looks like I'm losing here.
Yeah, because your rook is under attack and you have to...
Yeah, because let's say I do not have rook b2 because of knight e3, and if I take with f, then queen e3, and if I take with the rook, then simply maybe like rook f1, and okay. It seemed to me that I was losing here, so I mean I had to go on, but because let's say with another rook, then white simply can play maybe like queen d2, queen c4, and why did I take my rook out of the second rank? So with this...
and it was already time trouble here already.
Yeah, for both of us, I think, but I decided to play for a win, so I calculated this line, and I thought it's either I win or I make a draw here. And maybe she had to take on f8. I think so, but I think I'm doing fine. Let's say even after rook f8. Yeah, I mean, I put my next rook on f2 if I can. But I don't think that white can save this position. So something has to be winning here, and like, okay, I didn't have much time, so I calculated maybe the only line I saw.
And luckily it worked out for you.
Yes, luckily it worked out, because if knight e6 instead of king b1, then actually the same queen f6. And
You're always stopping the check.
Yeah. Okay, finally my calculation was good.
Yeah, and here at move 40 already.
Yes, and here I was completely sure, because it was like the 40 small. Okay.
Yeah, and yesterday you had a rest day, and you also, Alexandra Kosteniuk, and also Olga, you joined, and Zhongyi, so 3 former world champions joined for the Blitz tournament against the Austrian girls. How was this experience for you?
Yeah, it was fun. Of course, it's very interesting for the Austrian girls, just to play with such strong players. So for them, it's something incredible, you know. And well, it wasn't really a free day, you know.
Yes.
Because we had to play Blitz. Also, like, the dinner was very alone, but it was nice. You can talk to people, just share some thoughts.
Very
it's
nice.
important.
And 2 more rounds to go. What is going to be your now perspective on this final 2 games in the FIDE Women's Grand Prix and the final stage of it?
I will try to play well, you know, but in my case, like, I do not struggle for the candidate spot. So, I mean, it doesn't matter so much as, let's say, for my sister. Yes. First of all, I will be rooting for my sister.
That's a good point. So best of luck for you for the final games, and also for your sister.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. Now we are going back to the studio. We had a very nice day full of exciting games.